Okay, here again, like we usually do, I'm going to do a quick follow on a few people that have low viewers. So just grab a couple of people that I'm not already following that are streaming software development. We'll just do that.
That's good, because
all right. Very good. All right. All right. So we got a couple of that. And what we're going to do next is we're going to grab our interface creation page model. We're going to create some new properties in here. Sorry, no, interface creation page. Yes, interface creation page model. And so then we have the create page view name. We have the view model name, which is also there, but as we can tell with views and view models, views end with XAML, view models, and then CS. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a property in here that is going to be called public string create page view file file name. Okay, and it's going to be a read-only property. Essentially, all it's going to do is we're going to take this and add the extension to it. So what we'll do is we're going to say is if string dot create string dot is null or white space for create page view name. So we're going to say if it's not that, then we're going to return create page view name plus dot XAML, else return null. Okay, so that's this one. Now we're going to do very similarly. Okay, and then we also want the code behind. And the code behind ends up being XAML.cs for the view. So we're going to call it create page view code behind file name, and that's going to be XAML.cs. Okay, so those are our file names. Excellent. Save, save, excellent, save. Okay, then we're going to go to our actions, and we're going to set up a method that creates the file. So if we go to file and folder, we have some methods: file and folder dialog, file dialog, create folder, which is fine. We have a code writing utility here to replace line in text, replace section of text. We want to just create a new text file. So I have an old file an old project that I did that with. I'm going to get an example. Okay, so we have a template and then we have a new, and that's going to be the replace. So this is replace line of text in file, and that gives us the original file path, the new file path, the text we're finding, and what we're inserting, which is fine. So this then takes us, reads the original file, and then creates it and inserts it into the new one. So that's the new code to file path. So we could essentially take this and use that to write a new path when we have a template. So when we're identifying which file we're copying, we will need to use that. So then we have our page types, interface page type, model, okay, property fields, yeah, we have our default template names. So let's bring up our page types and which templates we're using for each. Okay, so we have our, nope, not that one, system data, interface page types, yeah, so we have these, and then a bar chart page, we're going to edit to say the default suffix is underscore bar chart view, save, return. Okay, so we have those. Now, we're not showing the default template here, and most likely because we need to, well, we need to fill them in. But so default template, let's edit that. We will say templates, views, okay, and we'll just call it templates underscore bar chart underscore view example. Okay, save. We turned a list, so I can't tell from this view which templates are filled in and which ones aren't. So I'm going to go out to page type view, data grid. Okay. Then we'll say default template name. There we go. Okay. So now we have default template name, which they're all filled in here. I didn't think I had them all filled in, but I guess I do. Maybe it was just the bar chart. I didn't. Okay. So these are selectable. Those are the templates. Very good. So we probably need some sort of like full path on where to get that template from, because it's in views, and then we would need to know like the template view model, I think, which might be another field. And then I do think we need interface creation models, because pages, yeah, so we have stored procedures, we have models, or pages, so that's fine. And then, so this is default template. I think, yeah, we can probably just reuse that. So if we grabbed our detail, which is here, detail, all right, that's fine. So if we went out to create one again, we pick on a table. So let's grab our database, let's grab our schema and a table, which is going to be, say, reliability quality group. I don't know. Table prefix T, reliability quality group. Okay. There we go. Important fields, find important fields. Okay, so that seems to have found a handful of them, but did not find them all. So what were we missing? Deleted by user ID, which is a type of field, or an important field type. So let's go to system data, important field types. All right, so this isn't telling us which ones have default field names and which ones don't. So we're going to go to import field types, views, data grid. All right. Auto find names. What did we call it? Auto matching field names. Auto matching field names. Save. Okay, so we have auto matching field names. We can see a few of them don't have that. So primary key we're not going to auto match. But record deleted by user ID, that's pretty easy. Considering this is added by user ID, we could simply say this one is then deleted by user ID. So we would then say deleted by user ID or deleted by username ID. Yes, it's selectable. Save. Back. Okay, so we have that one. Deleted by username. Yep, which is this one. So then we can say deleted by username. Okay, save, return. All right. Yep, and then it does need a SQL data type. So this one would have to be a varchar field. Yes, it's selectable. Save it, return it. Okay. And then we have deleted by user ID, which is then an integer. Okay, so that's simple enough. Then record modified by username, same deal. It's then going to be a varchar and auto matching of modified by username. Yes, it's selectable, save, return. Okay, so we have all of those now. Save, save. Go back here and we try and create a new one. We'll take the same database schema and table. Right, we got our details, we got our important fields, which don't know why I didn't find it, but record deleted by user name, which is the problem. So that's the other findable one. So we'll go to important field types. In this case, we had record added by username and added by username. And what we want to do is deleted by username. It would also be record deleted by username. Save. Okay. And then this one would of course be then record modified by username. Okay. Save, return. Okay, primary key field, we're not doing matching field name to that one, but we'll go back home, interface creation, grab our server. Yep, there we go. And we still have that. We'll find important fields. So we have record deleted by username. It's this one. Okay, but why would find important fields not have found it? I need to know what data type the field names are. I think if we put the data type next to it here, that can help. So, and we can also put the data type over here to match them up. So this is going to be in step number 3. So we'll close that out, close everything out, save it. Interface creation, views, new view, excellent. Important fields here. All right, so we got a list view and we got 2 columns. We're going to put another column in and we're going to give the width on this one automatic. Okay. The combo box will move to column 2. Okay. And sorry, I put the automatic on the wrong column, move that in the middle there, and then the header above the list view we'll have to add another column to as well. And then we'll say width is automatic, and field type then becomes 2. Okay. So we have that, and then we have field type. So what if we just made this center column with 100? Okay. Then down here we'll do the same thing with the 100. All right, that makes it nice and easy. Then we can take a text block. SQL data type. SQL data type text. Good. And then we'll do grid.column1. That puts it right in the middle. So let's see if it gives us what we want. Okay, so we are not getting the SQL data type to display. Why? Probably because when we pull the fields from the SQL, why is that happening? That's super weird. Okay, we probably want to set this to have a minimum width, and same with that. But the SQL data type's not filling in, so most likely when we get the SQL field, SQL table fields, yeah, actions. Okay, let's go to our methods, SQLite methods, add, delete, get, if. So this one gives it an ID number. This gets a collection from a list. This one does that one. So this one's not being referenced, this one is being referenced. Okay, so somewhere down here we have important field type, parent SQL table. This is fine. So those are all the properties, which is okay. And what we'll do then, okay, and we'll say new record dot SQL data type equals new dot new record dot SQL data type dot SQL data type ID equals SQL data type ID. Get rid of this. Okay. And we'll go into our table information, field information. So table field, description, field caption, allow data type ID. Where it was, data type ID. Okay, we'll have to add some other fields to this. Data type name, I think. And then I think its text is in table. No. Alright, let's bring up Sqlite. Okay, we look at SQL table fields. We have data type, SQL data type. Yep. Why am I joining to that one? Not sure, but we can take SQL data type. Alright, and SQL data type description. Alright, we'll put that there. So that's SQL data type, just like that. Okay. And description, right? Source to SQL data type. Okay, save. Okay, very good. Update that view. Make sure we can get data. Alright, yeah, we got. Alright, we don't have much when it comes to descriptions, but right. So we do have SQL data type, which I think was in here before, but I don't see it in there now, so that's fine. Alright, and then this one is SQL data type, which again is also fine. And let's refresh it. Back in, locate the table. Object cannot be cached from DB null to other types. Yeah, makes sense. Step out. Step out. Okay, that's this one here. Right, I forgot to renumber that. So if the ID is not null, then the ID is this, and then we would want SQL data type. Yep. Good. Okay. So that should work for what we're doing. So we didn't get the fields that time, but we'll flip back over to it. Still didn't get the fields that time. What about now? Okay, it's not showing the SQL data type at all, but strange. The header has it. It's the combo box. SQL data type. Yeah. So I wonder if we're not getting the SQL data type in the table. SQL table field. SQL data type ID has them here. SQL table field. Okay, so testing table has it, priority level has it. Basically those ones aren't filled in. Okay. So what if we deleted the employee table and tried it again? Can we do that? B template, foreign key ID? That's super weird. Okay. This template actions. This is select templates. Did I go back to the templates list? Is that what happened? That was a bit weird, but okay. So we had SQL table list, detail. We have nothing, which is a problem. Okay. SQL table list. What about data grid? Okay, we got field names, captions, that sort of thing. We could probably put table in here too. Name, save. Alright, we were at the table level. So we were here. Okay. Detail. Return to list. That would be it. Okay. Okay, well, delete. If we wanted to go to our template and find out more about that, that would be in our detail view, code behind. Delete record return to list is the method. Okay, so delete record is in the detail view model. And that would mean we would go to the detail view model, pull up a method, put that there. Okay. Okay, delete record, return to list it is. It's the template, the detail. Yep, just like that. Alright, that should allow me to get rid of that. Now, if I went to my actions for SQL table, methods, obtain, auto-identify field names, yep. We do an add SQL table. And add SQL table checks to see the values. It says if it exists, and if it exists, the SQL schema ID, SQL schema, or SQL table name. This is saying view name where the ID and the table name match. So that should add it. If it's been deleted, we should be able to re-add that. So if I go to data, SQL tables, I have this one where I can then edit and delete it. Okay. Now I have multiples of the same table, it looks like. Why? Okay, so that one was deleted. It does look like I brought the same tables down. Table name, table captions, table subjects, right? So I deleted both of those. Okay, so I just have the same set of table, same table in the same database more than one time because I probably wasn't checking for it correctly. But that's fine because we can add a list button on the left that goes to SQL databases on the side of the SQL table list view. Okay, so then we could say SQL databases. Okay, and we would say go to SQL database list. Okay, so we go to the definition on that now. We have go to SQL database list, which then we can just say SQL database actions dot nav to SQL database list, and then this one would be SQL server actions nav to SQL server list. Save, and we can then move the methods and region past here. Save that. Okay. And this one would be servers. We'll probably also need schemas. Okay. Schema list, SQL schemas, schema. Okay. This will then be SQL schema actions dot nav to SQL schema list. Very good. Schemas, databases, and servers. Okay, cool. And we refresh that again. Alright, so now we can go to our system data, go to our tables, so we've deleted that one. So if we went back and started a new one and said database, and we found our schemas, we don't see our table, but we can hit download, and we get our table all over again. At this point in time, it says system.string cannot be converted to type. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, I know. Step out. Okay. So this here is trying to do it, but I'm betting it's in here. Because I don't think it got down here. I think it's in here. So we'll do set next. That's fine. Try again. 11. Okay, is value allowed? Yeah. SQL data type ID? Yeah. Data type, this is the one. So if we do else, if, yeah, but this assign properties to values doesn't seem to have error handling in it, because of course I forgot to put the error handling in, which is why it can't convert it. So if the property does not equal null and the property can write, So if we went to Sqlite fields, properties, is auto assign allowed? Sqlite table field here. And is auto assign allowed? Yes, this one. So all we have to do is go to the model for SQL table field here. SQL table field actions. Click on T employee. That's a tiny int, and that's a null, and that becomes number 5. Okay, cool. So we take that off, we take this off, we take that off, boom. Okay, so now if we go to important fields, we can now see the SQL types are ints, varchars, tiny ints, small date times, all that fun stuff. So those are our data types. And for the important fields, we can hit that and it fills those in. It did not fill in the soft delete field, which is labeled as is deleted. So let's go back, go to system data, important field types, soft delete field, auto matching field name. Yeah, and this says it's an integer. So why did that not match? Is it because the important, I'm thinking it's because the SQL table field here, SQL table field is deleted, is a tiny int, not an int. So I think I would have to edit this, change it to a tiny integer, save that, return to the list. Go back here, find our table again. Grab the table. Okay. Then find them. It found it. Excellent. So those are our important fields. Then as we get into field details, because our important fields can now be excluded, this list of fields, we don't need captions or content for important fields. It's just the rest of them. So things like first name, last name, whatever, but I do need headers for this. And then let's stored procedures, and we'll say create all, name them all. Pages to create, generate names, take that off, continue. Okay, so now we have views. My guess is, because this says views and view models, my guess is we just didn't fill in that one. So generate view names, go to definition, and we'll do a similar one of generate view model names, and this will be for each page in current record list pages. If item is not null, This one says set default name for page. Stop that. Go back. Alright, view model. This